welcome, Pietro.
Ciao.
It's so good to have you on the
For
show.
me.
Why don't you tell everyone who you are, a little bit about you, where you work, and then we'll get into it.
So I'm Pietro Lorefice. I'm currently the bar manager of Experimental Cocktail Club in Venice, in the beautiful Zattere. I'm still 29, almost reaching the 30s. Not too scared about it, just not too scared about it. And
It's not that
it's not.
scary. It just gets better and
Oh,
better.
good words to hear. I'm originally from, I would say from Milano, but Milanese wouldn't like it because I'm actually from the suburbs of Milano, so a few minutes outside of the city. Small village, not too many people, hidden into the countryside of the city.
What is it called? What's the little town
Vizzolo
called?
Predabissi. It's like
Give a shout out to
to
Vitolo.
Vizzolo
Say it.
Predabissi.
See,
It's
quello.
it's a super long name and pretty tricky. Um, so yeah,
Fabs.
was grew.
Yeah. So, how did you get into bartending? How did this world, how did your interest in this world come about?
So I started to get caught by bartending when I was in high school, because with a few classmates and friends of mine, we were like hosting parties for the school community, and we were taking at the same time charge of the bar. So that time was fun, We were just mixing vodka and whatever for people to have fun. But it got me like pretty well, pretty well. So right before the end of the high school, I started to work in a local bar. Was like the really first experience I was doing like everything I could to learn. Was a fun time. Was quite a tricky bar, but the guy who was running it was like super passionate about everything, and he got me into it.
So, what kind of things were you doing for him? Was it, I'm not sure how old you were then because you're still young, but were you making coffee? Were you making like proper cocktails? What kind of cafe was it or
It
bar was
was
it?
like a all day bar. Okay, it was like family run business. So at the back, like on the early morning, was like serving breakfast, but we were not into that. Uh, and then I was getting into the night shifts. So like early evening, I was jumping at the bar. We were setting up. I was showing me. I was doing orders. I was taking charge of the bar, etc., etc. And then he introduced me to cocktail. For me, at that time, what we were making, they were like proper cocktails. Nowadays, the industry has changed a lot, so I would question my self question as well about what we were doing. But it was fun. He was like teaching me a lot, like to how to start to pour, how to build up rounds of cocktail, and it was fun because on the weekends we were getting very very busy. So it was me and him behind the bar was challenging.
What kind of things were you making?
Like normal cocktails, like spirit and soda. The majority was like
Yeah.
gin tonics, a lot of sours, luckily, so I could be like my shoulder to shake. And but was fun. Very long nights, very long days. Was almost 1 year so far, something like the time that I spent over
Uh-huh.
there. Yeah. Then I had like a switch. I tried to attend uni for the first time because I attended uni two
Uh-huh.
times, and yeah, it didn't went.
What were you studying?
I started like trying with economy in Milano, but it
Uh-huh.
was like I was like outside of si dice pesce fuor d'acqua in Italian. So it's like you are a fish outside of the water, no? That was my feeling.
Yeah, we say that. We say that
Uh,
too. Fish out of
I
water.
was
We
a
say
fish out
that.
of water. I was like, what am I doing here? So I couldn't like stand it anymore, and I flew to London with a one-way ticket.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea you
Yeah, I
lived in
lived in
London.
London. I lived in London for 2 years. Yeah, not that much, but
And did you get right into bartending
so
there?
I went there with an excuse. Was attending a bartending school. Was EBS at that time. Was the school itself was like more than a process of knowledge. Was like a good way of building a method. That was
Yeah.
super interesting. And then we were facing the real London because like we started in we were sleeping in this hostel in King's Cross, and I stayed there for like 2 months. Was very long months, and the school was about 20 days, and after that we started to find each of the students started to find some jobs around, and uh, and then he kept on going. So I switched a few places. I spent the majority of the time in Covent Garden in a bar that now is named in another way. I don't know how, but it was Adventure Bar at the time. Huge happy hours, like 2 for 1. So again, like high volume. Uh, and then when I decided to quit on that place, I started to do a little bit of, come si dice, how can I say, like not freelance, but like when you get hosted in other bars, like for extra shifts. So I was moving a
Okay.
little bit more around the city, and it was fun. London was like a very interesting period of my life. Yeah, it was cool.
Was there one place that you worked that really changed how you thought about cocktails there, or
Mm,
that really happened when you came back to
I think
Italy?
it got me more when I came back to Italy, because when I was in London, I was still young. I was under 20. Yeah, now I feel a little bit.
By the way, you are still young, by the
Yeah,
way.
I look it from my perspective also. And
Of course.
so it got me more when I got back to Italy, because over there was like more of a fun time to move a little bit into industry, to start to understand a little bit more how it does work. That time it was like a flourishing period for London. So many bars around. I started to get in touch with what we call now mixology, but in the end it was like a proper way of building recipes. Let's put it like that, no?
Right.
And to go through hospitality. So yeah, it was.
So when you came back from Italy, I'm sorry, when you came back from
Mhm.
London, was there a city that you wanted to go to? Did you wanted to return home? Or did you say, or did you kind of look through different cocktail bars and say, this is the kind of place I want to work? What was kind of your plan? Or maybe you didn't have a plan and it just you fell
I had
into
a
it.
plan. Yeah,
You
yeah.
did.
The plan was to move after London to Ibiza to do
Oh,
another season exactly. But life sometimes doesn't go as you predict it. So
no, it
yeah.
doesn't.
So I did actually stay in Italy, and I started to work in a bar in Milano. Was called Ego. Was a very little cocktail bar in front of the Navigli.
Uh-huh.
Was run by two extremely passionate guys, Fabio and Andrea, and they teach me way more than I was expecting to know since that time. And it was like a little bit more uh, um, less volume, a little bit more onto the quality we could put through what we were doing. So it was fun. They teach me a lot about the classic stuff where you can learn about the bars, so etc. etc. Yeah, it was fun.
And when did you start thinking, or did you happen upon Venice? How did that transition come about?
It was 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Uh, we were just outside of the COVID period, more or less. Was almost done. So we had that break time, and then in that break time, I started again uni. So this is the second time.
Oh, I love it. I forgot about the
Yeah,
second uni. Yes.
communication this time was a little bit more suited for me. I started to
Yeah.
work again in hospitality because like bars and restaurants were open to
Oh, right. Of course
yeah,
they
they
were.
started to get open through certain
Yeah.
times, etc., etc. So I started to work again because I got fired just before the beginning of the pandemic from my peer reviews work, and so I was unemployed. I started to work again into hospitality, and and then the my ex-girlfriend, okay, she gave me like this proposal to move to Venice. I was like, why not? You know? So yeah, I think like you can. I was thinking like. Who wants to go to live in Venice? That could be like a story very
Uh,
nice to tell. Now, fortunately, I can see that many people like the city, so good for us. And so yeah, for almost 4 years ago, for the 14th of February, so in 9 days, is gonna be my fourth year is in the city. I spent some Valentine.
all
I
right.
spent some
Okay.
Valentine with with Venice.
That's really
It is. It
romantic,
is. It is.
actually, especially because this probably will be published right after Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. But so you went for love. It was just meant like a love was meant to be there because you left on Valentine's Day. You're there on Valentine's Day. It's 4 years. You know, it's funny what, you said something that, a lot of people love Venice. What did you feel about Venice being an Italian? Were you thinking, "Oh God, it's a touristy place," or were it sounded like you were excited for this
I
adventure in
was super
Venice.
excited, but you're right. There is a lot
Uh-huh.
of stereotypes around the city, so it's like known mainly between Italians, I think that it is like a touristy city. It is, of course,
Yeah.
it's for the majority is built through that idea, but there is a very solid and interesting community that underneath, but it's not underneath. It's actually the one who moves
Uh-huh.
the city, actually. So the
Uh-huh.
first year was scary. I have to tell you the truth. I wanted to leave right after. I was like, oh my God. Then I started like to get like I can say, uh, trapped by the city. Let's put it like that. But now every time,
I think I'm trapped by the
you
city
know,
too.
every time you leave this city,
Yeah.
every time I leave the city, I'm talking personally. It's like I feel like that I miss it. So
Oh,
there must be
yeah.
a connection. I'm still trying to figure it out what it is in particular, but there is something. Yeah,
Of course, yes, I feel that too. Obviously, that's why I wrote a
yeah,
book
yeah. I
about it.
mean,
But um,
you know.
and been going back for 40 years. So how did you get involved with ECC?
So I did like the basic stuff. I was coming here 2 times per month when I was working in my previous job in Milano, and I was landing paper CVs to all the places that I
Oh
could
my God.
find. Yeah, and one of the last where I left the CV was the SCC in Venice. At that time, Lorenzo was working as the bar manager of the bar, Lorenzo Nicola. For who doesn't know, my question is who doesn't know Lorenzo Nicola? And he contacted me. He called me like in one day. I was leaving the city because I was going back to Milano, and he asked me to attend a can I say un colloquio.
Like a guest
No, no,
shift
like to know each
or
other.
a
Like the first time, you know, that,
oh
yeah, an interview. There we go. Yeah.
interview? Uh-huh.
So that was the first time we know each other. Then I took a second interview, and the fun fact about that interview that actually went pretty well because then they hired me was that I trying to shake hands to the bosses of the company. I spoiled the whole coffee on myself, standing up. Yeah, so I ended up doing the interview completely filled up with coffee in front of the director, in front of the F&B, in front of Lorenzo, in front of the world. That was fun. But this was my first approach with the bar in Venice.
That way they would
Yeah,
never
yeah, of
forget
course.
you
Yeah, you need
anyway. So they
yeah.
can tell that story
You
forever.
you need
Yeah,
to do
yeah, yeah.
something. You need to do something. And
As I say in my book, for those who live under a rock, they've never heard of ECC. That's crazy. So why don't you just give a little short explanation of what ECC is, maybe a little bit of its history, and how it found its way to Venice.
allora, that's a good question. So I think that to better understand SCC Venice, so actually the best way would be to ask to the guys. The guy who doesn't know, the guys are the formers, the idea and the minds and the hands behind what experimental group is. So the story is that they started from a very local bar. Okay, so they have their roots into the bar and food industry, and like a romantic story, since we are like very close to San Valentine, things went pretty well, and I can say personally that I think the reason is that because when you offer like quality, when you offer like certain standards that belongs to your values, first of all, there is just one way things can go. And then they started to build up a proper company, so that developed not only from like hospitality industry, so food and drinks, but then they started to open like hotels around the world with an important concept, which is I think that makes a lot the difference, is that each hotel venue, okay, has a very particular focus on to hospitality. So yeah, food and drink industry. So it is for Venice as well. For those who doesn't know, there is an hotel in Lezzate, which is one of the neighborhood of Venice, with one of the most beautiful view in the city. Can you agree with me? Oh,
I agree. It
it
is
is.
beautiful, and it's an incredible
The
building for
building,
those who.
the building is
Yeah, the
is
building is amazing.
amazing. It got renovated just before the opening. It's like what I like to say is that the it breaks, it kind of breaks the chain between hoteleries and the city in Venice, because it did present itself like something that wanted to be new, and it actually is, and it started to give the chance to Venetian people to be more open about the hotels itself, because it was the feeling, at least this was for me for the first time, and it's still like this, is that it's an open space for everybody, kind of, you don't feel like the pressure of going into an hotel, and that's what makes the huge difference in the city. So
Yeah, I think it was one of the first quite contemporary hotels inside, but yet not threateningly
mhm.
contemporary. It's still so inviting and the colors are pretty and it's engaging and it has a garden. And of course, the wonderful bar,
And a
attached to it,
wonderful restaurant, I want to break,
of course, and the
yeah,
wonderful
yeah,
restaurant. But with
Adriatica.
yes, yes, gorgeous space, place, etc. So when you got there, how long had it been open?
It's 6 years.
Not 6 years. So, oh, yeah. So it's quite new in terms of, if you think of Venice started in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
400s,
yeah,
it's quite new
yeah,
into
yeah.
Venice.
Actually, they did it open
Um,
like in the worst time they could happen. It was like the beginning was
yeah,
not the best one, because there was like the beginning of the pandemic. So yeah, and
right,
then there was like one of the hugest Venetian floods ever that like almost destroyed the first.
right in
Yeah, so
2019.
not the best time. I say 6 years, but almost 7. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if they could, if they could last that, they can last pretty much anything that Venice can
I
throw at
mean,
them.
like
Um,
to go over like beginning like that must have been super tough. Yeah.
So when you got there, or while you've been there, can you just tell me a little bit about kind of your vision for the menus that you produce and the cocktails that you produce? How much of it is inspired by Venice, if at all, or worldly things, happening?
Hmm.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
So I think we it's like as I said, I'm 4 years over there, and I think we through all the menus that we built, there was like that we built. Sorry, through the time was inspiration almost coming everywhere. But then 3 years ago, uh, yeah, 3 years ago, we started to think that we wanted to push a little bit over the menu to give something back to the city. So we are surrounded by arts every day. Okay, it's mesmerizing everywhere you look at. So we had to find a way like to give it back to the city. So we made the first illustrated menu. That was in collaboration with a Venetian artist whose name is Paola Momentè, and it got like it was fun. It was fun. It was like we kind of like found a theme, but we were walking around. We were like studying each other as the menus, how we could develop, etc., etc. And basically we decided to keep the form, so to give the chance to an artist to put his hands onto an idea, okay, and to give a visual representation of what's the city like for them. And this was like what happened like on the second menu we launched was welcome to Venice land.
Hmm.
Was like represented as like a, children book. So every image, every illustration was like um, themed in that way. The images were built around like legends of the city. Some of those were invented by us, etc., etc. Was fun, but in the end, while you were opening the menu, was like just illustration. It was fun. It was
Uh-huh.
super fun. And then we realized and that one was made by Margherita Caspani. And this last one was again built around the same concept, but this time we wanted to give something back not only to the city, but as well to those who gave us uh, um, uh, gave us something back, okay, and teach us something about our work, okay. So through the
Uh-huh.
time we had the chance to work with expertise from the industry, uh, to get in touch with them, to get in touch with their vision of the industry itself. So we wanted to give it something back. So in this case, while in the previous menu we were explaining, we were telling stories of the city, this time was a mix. Okay, so we
Hmm.
say Venezia è un crocevia di tante culture. So many people pass by through Venice. Okay, so that was the idea. So a mix of the experimental idea plus the ideas of our fellow colleagues around the world. And this time was taken by Lucrezia Viperina, who did like incredible work. We built the cocktail, but they built like the image. They built the images was like insane. It's like an impact so strong for everybody. It's beautiful. Yeah.
So, did you create the cocktails before the book, or did you see the book, the menus kind of, and the images, and then create the cocktails from that, or was it all together?
It's a very nice question because it's actually a round process. Like there is no beginning, there is not an ending. So it can happen sometimes that from an idea, from a visual idea, we get inspiration for a cocktail, and it can work on the other way around as well. So like from we want like to make this type of drinks because we would like to represent this type of idea, and then it comes out an illustration. So it's a very nice workflow, super hard. I need to be honest, extremely demanding, but was so much fun, really.
Can you give me some examples of maybe one or two of the cocktails that were created
Yeah, yeah, of course. So,
that are on the
sì,
menu?
sì, sì, sì. So I'm just trying to take few of those. Uh,
Maybe one from the book, which is the thalassa.
No,
I
it
can
does
ask.
work in actually kind of a way because is a cocktail that is dedicated to Avra Bar, a bar for from Four Seasons Hotel in Greece. Uh,
I'm looking for it in
Go
the
for it, go
book.
for it.
There,
I'll wait you.
here, just so everyone can see it.
Yeah,
If you want to talk about that one, here's the
yeah, why
picture
not? Why
too.
not?
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah, that's what it looks like.
so the idea was like to express through the flavors some of the sensation you can get into the when you lay on a beach into the after a swim into the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so you got like few of the flavors and few of the yeah, flavors that can cause about that idea. You can find the helichrysum, which is this flower from the Mediterranean that looks like chamomile. Like this summer, if you're gonna walk on a Mediterranean beach, you're gonna feel it. You got some fig leaves. You got the dill. It's fresh and reinvigorating cocktail. Honey, a little bit of spice, and I don't know if you saw it on the illustration, but there is a little disc on the top, and it's yeah, that's a candy. It's a salted candy that gets eaten before the drinks and leaves a little bit of
Almost again.
saltiness on the lips.
I've had the drink, so I know what it
Yeah.
tastes like. It is delicious.
Cheers.
Here we do have it. It's like right there, guys, that little
Yeah.
candy for the people who are watching the video.
So
Um,
it mimics the idea of the sea.
Also, for anyone who might not know, Venice owned Crete, so there is a Greek and Venice connection, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So,
what's that about?
oh no, I said Venice owned Crete.
Venice
So
owned Crete.
Venice
Okay,
owned,
okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
so at one point it owned Crete, so there is a
yeah.
connection with Venice and
There is.
Greece.
Uh,
How about one of the other drinks?
say it again.
How about one of the other drinks?
There is another cocktail which is called Fancy Nancy Clancy. Yeah,
I love the name.
and it's a cocktail dedicated to Dean and Nancy Bar in Australia. It's
Okay.
the fun part of the bar is that it's located at the 32nd floor of like a building. So in our mind, it was
Uh-huh.
like in between the clouds. So
Uh,
in the illustration, the bar is in between the clouds, kind of like. And to give back the idea was we just like had fun taking as a garnish some candy floss that gets like shaped as like a cloud, and it comes like into the cocktail like this and gets eaten. So it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, same for
mm,
for the previous cocktail. Like we started like with the idea of this bar, and then the image of the bar was like shaped into this kind of like hotel on the beach. Except was so that's like the round way of thinking for each other. And when actually the idea of the for the Fancy Nancy Clancy, okay, as I said, for us was like a bar in between the clouds. Uh, and the garnish that I was telling you about, it came out because the illustrator, so Lucrezia, represented the bar in between the clouds. So we
ah,
took out that idea and we put it like onto the. So this is again like how it works. Yeah,
huh. That's
yeah, it's fun.
amazing.
It's super fun.
You're right in Venice, and I was wondering, there's so many new products coming out of Venice. You know, I write about them and Amaro Nostrano, Cinde Suspiri, and of course there's Select. Um, and I was wondering how you try and work with them if you do, um, and try and it's very hard. I know that Venice doesn't have that many products that are grown in Venice, and let's say in Erasmo, the island. I was wondering if make a point of trying to work with those things because they're Venetian.
Absolutely. So, like on the brand you mentioned, we work with two of them. First of all, Gin de Sospiri. Shout out to the guys because they just released as well their bitter, which is amazing. And we work as well with Select. We don't work with Amaro Nostrano. I know Amaro Nostrano, and it's super good. I think that one of the thing that connects the three of them is that in one way or another they find the best way to represent the city and being as well represented by the city. Because as you said, there is not many things coming out from Venice, but it's such an iconic city that is it's fun and it's challenging to be tailor made for a product to be tailor made around the city. And I think that one of the big goal of the city itself, as you mentioned, l'isola di Sant'Erasmo Island, is that there is a variety of food and wildlife you can get in touch with into the city that it's pretty impossible not to get like drawn away by all of this flavor, all of this heart connection. So this is like for me like the goal point of the majority of the products we mention is this. Like the guys from Gin Sospiri, they did it like extremely well from my point of view. They brought out this product which is incredible. And what we do is that we keep them at the bar, and as well we use them on our cocktail list because it's for us an honor to being able to do it. Same for Select that represent the city. Finally, is getting outside of the city itself. I'm finally able to find it in my local bar in Vizzolvere d'Abissi. I don't know if they kept it because I was keeping.
Oh, I love it.
No, but true. My friends, they started to keep asking for Select to the owners of the bar, Beppe, and then he started like to bring out the Select. So I think he's getting like way more popular. It's fun. It's fun because it's super good.
Yeah, you definitely find it here in London.
Cool.
Yeah,
You see.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, is there anything else you'd like to tell me about maybe what you guys are planning for the future or, for the summer that's coming up or anything?
So for the summer that's coming up, we're getting ready. It's gonna
For the hordes.
Yeah,
the hordes.
it's gonna be a very fun time this time because Venice is gonna host the Biennale of Art, and it's always an amazing time, really. He likes puts the light onto the city. Everybody's here. It's like everything can happen. The magic of experimental is also this. Like the seats are outside for everybody. It's like a local bar of and any city, and everybody can sit. You get like tables one different from each other every day. It gets crazy, but it's super fun. So we're getting ready. We're gonna come out with a new menu. The spoiler is gonna be different from what we've done so far, because we need to change. Even if it does scares us, we need to change because it's part of the process. And this is what we're gonna do.
And when should that be out? When is the new menu?
No, too much secret information.
It's a secret. Oh, I love it. But people have to come back or go.
Secret
so,
information.
Well, this has been so great. Thank you so much, Pietro.
Cheers.
It's been great
For
to
me,
hear your
for me.
story and to hear a little bit about the experimental.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for
I'll
your
be there.
interest. Really, it's like such an honor for us.
Well, it was a joy to have you in my book, especially you get a picture. And to have it wouldn't be the same book without the experimental being part of it.
Cheers.
Because if, it's called A Guide to Drinking in Venice. So there's that's one of the hot spots is your place. And
Yeah.
it's a beautiful bar with beautiful people behind the bar. And,
Yeah, can I make actually a shout out because this was like the last things that I wanted to add, like a shout out to the team,
of
a shout out
course.
to the team that helps me and put his effort so much to make everything possible. So Dania Catto, Edoardo Ruzzante, Mattia Doni, and the secret Lorenzo Nicola, who is always giving a hand anytime, brother.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we'll have all those names down in the show notes
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well
yeah,
to
yeah.
give them a shout
Yeah,
out
we're
as
missing
well.
Marco
So don't
Brun.
worry, we'll have everyone.
We're missing one.
Everyone.
Marco Brunzino is
Yeah, good.
now in Venice, in Mexico, with his grown mustaches. Yeah, yeah,
I
for a
love
new
it.
adventure. So it's us.
Well, we'll have everyone represented. Don't worry about that. And we'll ci vediamo a
Sì,
Venezia. We'll
ci
see you
vediamo a
in
Venezia.
Venice.
Andiamo a mangiare
Okay.
assieme.